When I got into the aquarium hobby years ago, I knew nothing about shrimp, but I had seen a few featured in aquascaping videos. Years later, little did I expect that one of the staple inhabitants of each of my tanks would be Neocaridina shrimp. Taking that first step into shrimp keeping was exciting, as it was something completely different than what I was used to, and I remember that one of the first species of Neocaridina shrimp I purchased was red cherry shrimp. If you're interested in taking that first step into keeping red cherry shrimp, or even just wanting to learn more about them, I'd like to share some of the knowledge I've gained over the past few years with you. I hope that by the end of this video, you'll see what a rewarding hobby shrimp keeping can be. Let's get into it. Red cherry shrimp are small, peaceful, colorful freshwater shrimp that are very popular in the aquarium hobby. They are known for their vibrant red color and are relatively easy to care for, making them a great choice for beginners. Red cherry shrimp reach about 1.5 inches in size and have a lifespan of 1 to 2 years under ideal conditions. They are detritivores, which is a type of omnivore that will eat just about anything. This can be biofilm, dead plant matter and tank mates, detritus, leftover fish food, and more. Red cherry shrimp are also very sensitive creatures and prefer stable conditions. Before purchasing any red cherry shrimp, the first thing you have to realize is that they have various grades, and what I mean by this is there are various intensities of red. Based on a shrimp's grade, they're priced and named differently. When figuring out a red cherry shrimp's grade, there are a few basic rules to keep in mind. The first rule is, the redder, the better. Red cherry shrimp grading is all about how red they are. A shrimp with a larger amount of red and higher color intensity will fall into a higher category. The second rule is, opacity is important. Higher grade red cherry shrimp will have more opaque bodies without translucent splotches. And for the third rule, males and females differ. Male red cherry shrimp are smaller and less brightly colored than females. While a female might fall into a higher grade, a male could end up being in a lower grade. Grades range from ordinary red cherry, which is the lowest grade, to Bloody Mary, which is the highest grade. Shrimp breeders are always working on new varieties, and so newer grades can always be introduced. Starting with the ordinary red cherry grade, the red color has a weak density. The carapace and abdominal segments of the shrimp will be covered in red dots and will be mainly transparent. The legs will generally be colorless as well. Males will look almost totally colorless and may have scarce spots of red. Females, on the other hand, will be light colored and will have a well-defined stripe going down its back. One grade higher than the ordinary red cherry grade is the Sakura grade. At this grade, the shrimp is almost completely red, but small translucent splotches are still visible, or there could be an orange tint to the shell. The carapace and abdominal segments are red, with some small cracks and holes being visible. The legs are mostly red, with some slight spotting in color. Males are generally lighter in color than females. There may be some translucence to the carapace, where the saddle may be still visible under regular lighting. The next grade up is the fire red grade. At this grade, the shrimp is completely red. The intensity of the red color is very deep and the coloration is very vibrant. The carapace and abdominal segments are red without any cracks and holes in the body. The legs are mostly red as well. Males are generally lighter in color than females. Saddles and eggs are still visible, but it can be difficult to see under regular lighting. Higher than the fire red grade is the painted fire red grade. These shrimp have a deep red coloration and are also very opaque. There are no clear spots at all on the carapace and abdominal segments, and the legs are completely red. Males are generally lighter than females. Saddles and eggs are visible through the shell, but only under special lighting conditions. The painted fire red grade is considered the most popular and one of the highest grades, but in recent years the Bloody Mary grade has come about. Unlike all red cherry shrimp, which carry their red pigment on their shells, Bloody Mary shrimp have semi-transparent shells with deep red color in their tissue. The carapace and abdominal segments have an extremely deep red coloration, with no color spots at all, and the legs are completely red as well. Males are nearly as red as the females, and a few females may even look really dark red, almost maroon in color. Now that you know of the various grades, selecting the right type of shrimp for your tank will come down to your budget and what you're trying to accomplish. If you're just starting out and want some shrimp for your community tank or shrimp-only tank, you can choose from any of the available grades based on what your local fish store has in stock. If you're trying to breed red cherry shrimp, you'll want to get the painted fire red grade or Bloody Mary grade, as they are the highest quality grades. Red cherry shrimp can fit in small tanks, but if you're trying to breed them, you'll want a 10-gallon tank or higher. Ideally, a mature tank that's been running for weeks or months will be perfect for them, as this will allow them to graze on biofilm, detritus, and other food matter right from the get-go. You won't have to worry about ammonia or nitrite either, as the tank will already be established. You can keep 2 to 5 shrimp per gallon. Since they are social creatures, keeping at least 6 or more will be beneficial. With a decent quantity of shrimp in your tank, you won't see them hiding as much, as they will be more confident to be out and about. When it comes to water, red cherry shrimp prefer clean water with a pH of 6.5 to 8.0. They can stand a wide range of temperature from 57 degrees to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. This equates to 14 to 30 degrees Celsius. They are most comfortable at around 72 degrees Fahrenheit, which is around 22 degrees Celsius. You'll want to use a sponge filter, or if you have a hang-on-the-back filter, cover the filter intake with a pre-filter sponge so that baby shrimp don't get sucked up. A planted tank also works best as it provides hiding places, shelter, and exploration opportunities. This can encourage natural behaviors, reduce stress, and create a more dynamic and interesting habitat. A planted tank also provides more surface area for biofilm to grow on, which shrimp love eating. Planted tanks also help improve water quality, help with oxygen production, algae control, carbon dioxide, and more. Check out the following card in the top right to learn more about how plants can benefit your aquarium. As I mentioned earlier, red cherry shrimp are detritivores and will eat just about anything. They will feed on biofilm, algae, leftover fish food and dead plant matter, and more. Although they are scavengers, you shouldn't rely on them to eat only whatever they can find. Instead, provide them with a diverse diet, which is essential for their health and well-being. A varied diet helps ensure they receive all the necessary nutrients for growth, coloration, and reproduction. There are 4 main food products I use by Glass Garden. The first is Bacteriae, which is a micropowder that adds important microorganisms, amino acids, and enzymes to your tank. It also enhances water quality and improves the development of biofilm. The second is Shrimp Baby, a powdered food for shrimplets. This food is rich in protein, zooplankton, natural vitamins, minerals, and high levels of omega-3 fatty acids. It provides shrimplets the necessary energy for molting. The third product I use is Mineral Junkie, which is a soft pellet food that contains various minerals which aid with molting and slow growth. The fourth product, and one of the most important ones I use, is Shrimp Dinner. This is a well-balanced pellet food that contains various important nutrients, vital substances, and natural vitamins that shrimp require for healthy development, successful molts, growth, brilliant colors, and high reproductive rates. The ingredients in Shrimp Dinner are also 100% natural. Aside from these 4 products, I also provide my shrimp with algae wafers, blanched vegetables, frozen brine shrimp and baby brine shrimp, fish food, and blanched duckweed. For more information on what I feed my shrimp, check out the following card in the top right. The key to feeding shrimp is moderation, as it is very easy to overfeed them. You don't want to feed them every day, sometimes once or twice a week is more than enough. See how your shrimp respond to different foods. If they're healthy and active, you're likely providing a suitable diet. If they're showing signs of poor health or reduced activity, you may be overfeeding them and may have to consider adjusting their diet or water conditions. Always prioritize water quality and balance when feeding your shrimp. If you're looking at breeding red cherry shrimp for yourself or even for profit, get at least 10 shrimp. You'll want to select the highest possible grades, which are either the Painted Fire Red grade or the Bloody Mary grade. You can check with your local fish store or even with shrimp breeders in your area. Another important factor to consider is the ratio of males to females. Aim to have around 1 male for every 3 females. This is because when females mate, they're in a delicate state since they've recently molted. They tend to be fragile and not very strong during this time. If too many males try to mate with a female, she can get really stressed out and even die. To avoid this, having fewer males pursuing a female helps prevent her from getting too tired and potentially dying. Breeding red cherry shrimp is actually quite simple, but their tank needs to have the right parameters. First, your tank needs to be set up and fully established. This means that it should have gone through the nitrogen cycle. Next, the temperature of your tank is important. It should be around 68 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. If it's too cold, your shrimp won't breed. If it's too warm, they might breed a lot, but their lifespan becomes shorter. You might also notice new shrimp being smaller in size. If you're making a tank just for breeding, having some Java moss in there is great. If you plan on making a display tank, lots of plants and driftwood will be beneficial. With either type of tank, this will ensure your shrimp have a space to retreat to, whether it be to molt, mate, or give birth. Lastly, you'll want to have an aerator, sponge filter, or hang-on-the-back filter to help keep the water clean and oxygenated. The key to breeding shrimp is patience, as it can take 3 to 5 months for the whole process to begin from the time you introduce them to your tank. Once a female shrimp is pregnant, it'll take approximately 30 days for her to give birth to about 20 to 30 shrimplets. For more information on breeding Neocaridina shrimp and the stages of pregnancy, check out the following card in the top right. Red cherry shrimp do well with other shrimp, snails, and nanofish. You want to look for tank mates that are generally peaceful in nature. These tank mates include guppies, celestial pearl danios, chili rasboras, neon tetras, nearite snails, ram's horn snails, bamboo shrimp, and amano shrimp to name a few. Keeping them with large fish or cichlids will result in them being eaten. If you're trying to breed red cherry shrimp, you will want to keep them in a species-only tank that only contains red cherries. You won't want fish in the tank as most fish will eat the baby shrimp. From my experience, autocinkless catfish are one of the only fish that don't eat baby shrimp and make the perfect tank mates other than snails. There's a lot more to red cherry shrimp than one might assume, which makes keeping and breeding them all the more interesting. The most important things are to keep healthy shrimp, be patient, and enjoy the hobby. I wish you the best of luck in your shrimp keeping journey. For more shrimp keeping tips and advice, please consider subscribing. Stay tuned for more of my upcoming content, but in the meantime, check out the following video recommended by YouTube. I'm Andy, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.